All right, here we are, Georgia, Florida week. This is game 6 for UGA, game 5 for Florida due to their COVID situation that they had a couple weeks ago. Both teams have one loss. This is the game of the season for both teams, in my opinion. Whoever wins this game is most likely going to the SEC championship game to face Alabama, most likely. But most likely it's going to be Alabama. So the winner of this game most likely moving on to the SEC championship game, which keeps their college football playoff hopes alive, assuming they don't lose another game during the regular season. So for me, this is the biggest game of the season for both teams. I know UGA played Alabama, but this game actually means more. Georgia could afford to lose to Alabama in the regular season and still get to the SEC championship, win the SEC, and potentially get into the college football playoff. So this game right now is in favor of UGA. They are a 3-point favorite on this game. It was a little bit bigger earlier in the week. I believe the largest it was 4.5 points for UGA. That has shrunk a little bit, and it's probably because of the injuries on the UGA side of the ball, which is huge. We're gonna be without a couple starters on defense, and these are guys that, these are the stars of the defense. Richard LeCount, really a freak accident, didn't have anything to do with football, was riding his dirt bike around campus, and 2 cars hit him while he was on his dirt bike, went to the hospital, spent the night in the ICU. Luckily, he has been released and is back with the team, but he's out for who knows how long, a couple weeks probably, if he even comes back this season. He's not playing. He's the field general of that defense. He directs, everybody and points them where they should be on the field, make sure everybody's lined up. Obviously, our interception leader, one of the top safeties in the country. It's huge. Luckily, we do have Chris Smith to fill in. Chris Smith has been around at UGA for a few years, played in just about every game last year, if not all of them. He's played in just about every game this year. So he has a lot of game experience, not as a starter, but definitely has the in-game experience. And I think he will be okay back there. But it definitely does hurt not having Richard LeCount's leadership on the field. Jordan Davis, we'll see if he can go on the defensive line. We do have depth, but losing Julian Rochester also on the defensive line definitely hurts that depth. We're probably going to be playing some freshmen. Luckily, Jalen Carter's pretty good. But I don't think that's going to be as big of an issue. Florida doesn't like to run the ball very much. And they're not extremely effective at running the ball, so I don't know that they're going to try to exploit that tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe they will. I heard that the weather is not supposed to be great. There's like a 50 to 60% chance right now that there will be rain in Jacksonville at 3:30 tomorrow. So if that's the case, Florida may try to run the ball a little bit more. We'll see if they have success with some missing players on UGA's defense. So really, just like the Alabama game, there are going to be things that UGA is going to have to execute in order to win, and there's going to be things that Florida is going to have to execute in order to win. I went over those during the Georgia and Alabama game. Alabama executed better than UGA did, and they were able to play their style of football, and it ultimately won them the game. And the same is going to be true about this game. Georgia is going to have to throw the ball to win the game. It's going to have to happen. Florida is going to load the box. They're going to make Stetson Bennett throw the ball in order to beat them. Luckily, Florida's defense is not very good. It's worse than Alabama's. It's actually worse than Tennessee's. It's ranked 66th in the country. But with that said, Missouri, they just played Missouri. Missouri beat Kentucky 20-10. So Missouri put up 20 points on Kentucky. UGA put up 14. Missouri just played Florida, and they scored 17 points. So maybe Florida's defense has gotten better since their bye week, magically. I don't know. We'll see. But they're going to load the box. They're going to make Stetson Bennett throw the ball, and that is the one aspect of the game that is likely going to win or lose UGA the game. Florida is going to score points. I know UGA fans don't want to hear this, but it's going to happen just like it happened with Alabama. There were people predicting that Alabama was going to score 10 or 14 points against UGA, and it wasn't going to happen. They're just nuts. A good offense is going to beat a good defense. It's really just, can that defense make enough plays to give their offense a chance to win the game? So I don't think that this game is going to be a low-scoring game. I also don't think that Florida is going to be able to score 41 points like Alabama did. I could see this game being in the 30s for both teams. We'll see. I'll give my prediction here in a second on what I think this game, or what I hope this game will end up being. But Georgia's going to have to throw the ball in order to beat Florida. Florida's going to have to make some stops on defense because so far they, again, other than last week against Missouri, they haven't really shown that ability. So on the Florida side of the ball, as far as Florida's offense goes, they have a legitimate quarterback, which UGA is missing. Kyle Trask, whether you like him or not, he is close to putting up Joe Burrow 2019 numbers. If you don't believe me, I'm going to throw something at you real quick. Through 4 games, Kyle Trask has 1,350 yards passing, 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, with a QBR of 90.4 through 4 games. Joe Burrow in 2019, through the first 4 games of the season, had 1,520 yards, so about 160, 170 more. 17 touchdowns, 1 less than Kyle Trask, 2 interceptions, the same as Kyle Trask, and a 93 QBR, so a couple points higher. So through 4 games of the season, their stats are almost identical, with Joe Burrow throwing for 160 more yards than Kyle Trask through 4 games. So I'm not ready to make that comparison and say that Kyle Trask is Joe Burrow, but he's putting up monster stats. He's averaging 4.5 touchdowns a game, over 300 passing yards a game, every single game this year, over 300 passing yards. So Kyle Trask is going to get his. He's going to throw on the UGA defense. They're going to have success throwing on the UGA defense, but it's really creating those turnovers, getting sacks on Kyle Trask, and stopping the run game. I think that is the key to success for Georgia's defense. They're going to beat you through the air. You can't let them beat you through the air and on the ground like Alabama did. You got to be able to stop one of those aspects. So let them pass, stop the run, get to the quarterback, hopefully make him turn the ball over a couple times and make a couple mistakes. And at that point, UGA is looking pretty good to win the game. Again, this is a game that both teams have to win. It comes down to this game, unless one of these teams just happens to slip up. Notice how I said Stetson Bennett was going to be starting this game. There has been swirling rumors this week in regards to Georgia's quarterback situation. If you watched last week before the Kentucky game, I made a video that said, "Where is JT Daniels?" And basically the video was just describing the Georgia quarterback situation. Oddly enough, 247 Sports yesterday released an article titled, "Where is JT Daniels?" Kind of funny. But obviously, we're asking the same questions. I don't know that we got any more clarity from the 247 article. There are people saying that JT Daniels was not fully healthy, even though he was cleared by medical doctors a couple weeks ago. He was not 100%. He feels like he's 100%. He's ready to go. He's told Kirby that he wants to play, and he's ready to go in the game. He was taking some reps with the ones, both during the bye week and this week. JT Daniels has been taking reps with the first team offense. He's also been taking reps with the scout team. So it's really hard to say where he is at right now. But on the same story of JT Daniels, while he's ready to go and he says that he's healthy, and Georgia's medical staff has also said that he's ready, there was also something that came out that said JT Daniels is very excited and anxious to get on the field, but the UGA coaching staff is not as excited as he is. Which Dog Nation was talking about this earlier today, and it really blows my mind, because I don't know how this kid could go from one of the top quarterbacks in the country coming out of high school. He had a good, decent freshman year at USC. In his last game of his freshman year against Notre Dame, JT Daniels threw for 350 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and had a 73% completion rate. I think Notre Dame went on to make the playoffs in 2018. Yeah. So they were a pretty good team. Jake Fromm in 2017 and 2019 never threw for 200 yards against Notre Dame in either game, 140 and 180. So I don't understand how the coaching staff could say that they're not excited about JT Daniels. I don't know that I believe that. I really don't. But I don't know if we'll see him this week. I think what it's going to take to see JT Daniels come into this game is not good for UGA, because I think it is going to take Georgia being down 3 scores at halftime before we see JT Daniels. I do think Stetson Bennett has a very short leash in this game. I think if he can't move the ball in the first quarter and he throws a pick or gets a ball batted down by the line and that gets picked off, or a fumble or anything of that nature in the first quarter, and we can't move the ball and we're struggling, I think he does get pulled. But it's not going to be for JT Daniels. It's going to be for Dwan Mathis. And then Dwan Mathis is going to get his shot back at taking this team back over. And we'll see if he can move the ball and generate some offense for UGA. If he can't, though, and again, if UGA is down big at the half, I think that's when you see JT Daniels come in. And at that point, we'll see what happens. Hopefully one of these 3 quarterbacks has a good enough game to where we can beat Florida. But I think that that's the only scenario in which we actually see JT Daniels come in this week. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we get to see him in the coming weeks. But I'm not sure that it happens tomorrow, because I don't think that it's going to be a blowout. So there are 2 different scenarios in this game for me. And it's not going to be one that UGA fans are going to agree with or that are going to want to hear, but it's a very strong possibility that it could happen. With UGA's defense so banged up and depleted with injuries, guys that are out, and guys that are playing but aren't playing at 100%, there is a very good chance that Florida scores in this game almost at will. With Kyle Trask and Kyle Pitts and Kadarius Toney and Grimes and Copeland and Shorter and all of those guys that they have on offense, could potentially score at will for Florida. And it gets to the point where UGA can no longer catch up. And we've gone through several quarterbacks and nothing is working, and we've turned the ball over a couple times. I think that that's a real possibility for this game, and Florida wins somewhere, between 17 and 24 points. Something like a 38 to 14 type game, or 38 to 20 type game, something around there. I could completely see that scenario playing out, and I would not be shocked at all. Do I want that to happen? Absolutely not. Do I hope it happens so that we can see another quarterback? No, I don't hope. I never want to lose to Florida. And what I think happens is that UGA runs the ball, they control the clock. Stetson Bennett has success passing the ball, but he doesn't necessarily have to make those big plays because the running game is going to work so well. Georgia is going to completely stop Florida's running game, which is going to make Kyle Trask throw a lot more than they want to, which is going to cause turnovers. Ultimately, UGA's defense, again, they're going to get scored on, but they're going to make enough stops to where the offense can catch up and eventually win this game. Again, right now, Georgia is a 3-point favorite. I think that's pretty dang close. I mean, if Georgia wins this game, it's going to be by 1 score. I have Georgia winning by 4. My final score prediction for this game is UGA 34, Florida 30. We'll see how it plays out. Have fun tomorrow, everybody. Stay safe, and go Dogs.